All right, what's going on? Let's turn up the lights here. Check out the new fit. Got the Going Parabolic hat on. This thing is absolutely dope. 12 hats. So we went out and found Richardson hats, made the Going Parabolic brand, the by the MF dip. Woo! Bitcoin's going crazy. Let's check it out. I'm just pulling up the chart, right? Trading view. I mean, absolute puke from 12,000. Man, I almost traded that. It's down 10,000. I would have picked up. Respectively, and I do what I always did. I ended up buying, I don't know, 2 or 3 Bitcoin this up move because I've seen that historically. But anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. And let's jump into this. What's up, Larcy? What's up, Ryan? Well, so let's check out the markets. And I'm talking about specifically the markets, not the news. So the Dow Jones is down 2%. S&P is down 2.8%. The Nasdaq's down, 4.32%. So Davey Day Trader must be getting absolutely wrecked today. There's nothing good going on there. I hadn't watched his show today, but he's not screaming about going parabolic today, I bet. Everybody's taking a big L. So, all right, let's get into the news. So U.S. stock indexes fall amid decline in tech shares. So big tech companies, including Facebook and Apple, leading the declines. Investors weigh data on unemployment benefits. U.S. stocks fell sharply Thursday, driven by a broad decline in many of the technology firms that have led the market higher in recent months. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 700 points, or 2.3%, to 28,415 Thursday. I thought Donald Trump put out a tweet congratulating himself that it went over 29,000. I don't know. I wouldn't have been taking a lap on that. I saw an interesting tweet by Pomp, and I was thinking about it myself. Which do you think will hit 30,000 first, Bitcoin or the Dow Jones Industrial? I actually think Bitcoin may, but if you have a comment about that, put it in the live chat. Maybe we can talk a little bit more. Big tech companies, including Facebook and Apple, were leading the decline Thursday, contributing to the pressure on NASDAQ. Facebook fell 5%, Apple 6%. Wow. On March 16th, it fell 12.9%. I think they're talking about Apple. I wonder how the rest of the FANG stocks are doing. It doesn't comment. We'd have to check that later. I think Davey has some exposure in Amazon. I wonder how Amazon's doing. So let's see if I can find it real quick. Amazon. Yeah, it's down 4.83%. So he's got to be getting absolutely eviscerated today, which I hate for him, but just comes with the territory. Being a day trader is a difficult task, I think, for anyone. Jobless claims. This was, it looks like good news. Jobless claims ease, showing slowly improving labor market. The number of people seeking and receiving state unemployment benefits fell at the end of August. Signs of a slow improvement in U.S. labor market, still deeply damaged by the coronavirus pandemic. Good news, they just started opening gyms here in North Carolina. They're allowing 30% occupancy, which is really cool. And I'm going to try to get to the gym for the first time since March 18th. I've been screwing around in my own gym, but I'm really excited about getting back. Apparently, they're giving you cleaning agents and they fog the place. Well, I don't know what that really means. It's some kind of hospital grade fogger for viruses, and they're doing that twice a day. This is at O2 Fitnesses. I go to Lifetime Fitness, but I'm sure they're all doing the same thing. Weekly initial claims for jobless benefits fell by 130,000 to a seasonally adjusted 881,000. The week ended August 29th, the Labor Department said Thursday. The number of people collecting unemployment benefits through regular state programs, which cover most workers, decreased by 1.24 million to about 13.3 million for the week ended August 22nd. So that's good news. It's not even better bad news. It looks like jobless claims are going in the right direction, and some of the things that the government and states are doing is working, which is good. The latest figures on jobless benefits are part of a mixed picture about the labor market, which remains in a deep hole because of economic disruptions from the pandemic. About 29 million people were receiving assistance from state and federal programs as of mid-August. Labor Department data showed the number of people seeking assistance through some pandemic-related program also has increased in recent weeks. Moreover, the Labor Department changed how it calculates seasonal adjustments for regular state claims, starting with Thursday's release, a move meant to better align the adjusted figures with raw numbers because of coronavirus-related distortions. I think that the jobs and labor reports have been a mess and tough to interpret. Lastly, last week's decrease is a catch-up to the improvement that has been happening. Who said that? That was someone from the Labor Department, Anita Markowska, chief economist at Jefferies LLC. So good news. I like sharing some good news. Look, I want America to win. I want our economy to win. I want the stock market to win. I want Bitcoin to win. I don't get any joy out of seeing the president struggle, regardless of which side you are on this political spectrum. I want the president to be successful. I want America to be successful. And that's just how I feel. And I want the global economy to be successful. So let's get into the live chat real quick and say hi to people. Headphone Son, what up? Harry Flood, time to buy Bitcoin. I did. I'm buying Bitcoin. I'll buy it all the way down. And I'm taking them off the market. So every time I buy Bitcoin, there's just less sats for everyone else. I'm sorry for you all, but you're talking about upwards of 60% of all the Bitcoin that are available are in wallets that aren't moving them. It's pretty exciting. Your weekly crew, I don't know what that means. Tony Spencer, loading up my Gemini account to fill bag more if we can get to under 10K. Under 10K is definitely a buy. I feel like anything under 11 because we had such strong support at 11. The fact we broke 11,000 is crazy. Harry Flood, Dave's on the golf course. I love it. Ghibli, Murillo, Barrero, buy, and hold. I love it. Jorge Luis, what's up, my friend? Buy Bitcoin. 93 Mischief. Have you heard anyone talk about Tezo? Yeah, I owned Tezo at one point just as a test. I was baking with it a long time ago, and Tezo is a good program and a good project. So, Mitch Eager, what's up? Your weekly crew, what's up? Hey, man. Let's see. You ever going to sell, my guy, or are you just holding forever? No, I'm actually trying to hold through 2 more halvings. So I'd like to hold all the Bitcoin I have until 2028. So that would be amazing. Like, when I talk to Plan B and when I talk to some people that are, Bitcoin maximalists that really believe in this like I do, you start to get really excited about the numbers when you start to get 6 and 7 figures numbers per Bitcoin. Bitcoin Tina feels the same way. I mean, you really start to, and it's just right around the corner. I mean, gosh, it's if you do a venture investment like I do, you lock the money up for 5, 7, 10 years. I mean, really, that's when I give someone $100,000 or $1 million, I really am locking that money up that long. It could take that long for us to monetize a venture investment and actually see some type of return. You put money in Bitcoin, it's liquid. I have strong conviction that there's some downside risk protection with an asynchronous upside return. And here we go, 2028, 8 years from now. And, you're talking about 100x. It can do it. It can do it. I don't know what else I can invest in that can do that, but that's exciting. Eric Crindle, what up? Can you talk a little about Coinbase custody? Heard you mention yesterday and interested. Thought you were self-custody. No, I have. I keep these around just to show people. Like I have Bitcoin on all kinds of areas. I have hot wallets, cold wallets, custody. Solutions with third parties, BlockFi, Gemini. I got them all over the place, but more than half, right around half of all the Bitcoin are in Coinbase custody. You pay for that annually, and they have a pretty good custody solution, air-gapped custody solution. So what that means is they have their own cold wallet, and there's a proprietary system, very manual, to try to get those Bitcoin. It actually takes two people to engage the process in my trust and in my business to actually get access to the cold storage of those Bitcoin. Um, and you can set up something very similar in BlockFi actually, and not have to pay for it. But again, I don't want there to be one point of attack that can take this very valuable asset from me. And as you all know, I've been SIM swapped 8 times. So that is not fun. It's not a good thing. And it was devastating. The SIM swap attacks that I was under were continuous, perpetual, and I could not stop them due to the nature of the attack. And at that time, it was just really tough. They had taken control of my email, slush pool. Man, it was wild. So Dropbox, I mean, all my social media accounts, everything. So they were soliciting business deals and Bitcoin from people, threatening to kidnap family members. I mean, it was serious stuff. I was worried about getting SWAT attacked, and I'm still, it's why I roll the way I do. But it's a scary thing, and something I take super serious. So, and a lot of people clown me when I post, purchase some Bitcoin and stuff. It shouldn't be a surprise to anyone that I have Bitcoin. So I find it stupid for someone to say, "Don't post your Bitcoin purchases." It's like, I have Bitcoin. Are you surprised? All right. So that's Coinbase. Like, if you want a trusted third party custody solution, air gapped computers, very analog type process to get it back out, and you pay for it, that's a good solution. And look into Casa as well. Jameson, LOP, and the multi-sig solution is really cool too. And they have tiers to that solution. It costs up to $5,000 a year to custody Bitcoin in their program. But you got to get what you pay for, right? So good things aren't cheap, and quality is not cheap, and security and safety and peace of mind is not cheap. So I think you should just pursue it. Is this hat dope or what? Let's see. Yeah, Eric, like Casa. That's right. Keith Wright, what are some good alternatives to Coinbase? Kingdom Trust, personal cold storage, Casa. There's a bunch of custody solutions, but those are a few I would suggest. Please listen to the interview I did with Jameson about security. It's important, and that's why I did it. Like, the things I'm talking about are things that are important to me, and I want to convey them to you. Beyond buying Bitcoin, holding Bitcoin, custody, trusts, securing your assets, making sure these assets are working for you and you're really focused on monetizing them. These are important strategies, and that's why I'm doing all this every day, so that you kind of get some mentorship from someone who maybe you respect. I don't know, but that's why I'm doing this. Nobody's paying me to do it. Tony Spencer, will a new phone that is kept private solve it? Will new phone that is kept private solve it? No, I don't trust any two-factor authentication on a phone, Tony. Not at all. I don't think that's a good solution. I don't think recovery texts on email are a good solution. I think you have to have some other way to two-factor authenticate into your accounts. And I recommend an air-gapped solution like YubiKey. I don't own YubiKey. It's a private company, but I absolutely love it, and I use that as one of many layers of operational security. How safe is BlockFi on a scale of 1 to 10? Look, because of who I am, the access to information that I have, I'm an investor in BlockFi, Pomps on the board. I'd say if 10 is like, I don't know what I would say. Like, I'm trying to figure out like what would I compare it to? If 10 is like you holding a cold wallet. If 10 is you holding 10 different cold wallets with the recovery passwords disseminated in multiple places, so as it would be a great effort on your part to even access your Bitcoin. Okay, that's a 10. That's a 10. And I'm talking about redundant placement of your recovery passwords in safety deposit boxes, attorneys' offices, like all over the place, right? That's a 10. BlockFi is a 7. BlockFi is a 7. It's not a hot exchange. It's not a hot exchange. And then I would say like Gemini Custody is a 7 or an 8. I would say Coinbase is like an 8 or a 9. And then that's it. That's kind of just me riffing a little bit there. Richie Rich, I love the name, by the way, Richie Rich. Thanks for reminding us to keep an eye on the prize. There you go. Good name, great comment. The Coin Collector, I bought a shirt and a hat yesterday. Hey, man, it's on the way. That's cool. Buy the dip. I love it. Let's see. Eric, welcome. Your weekly crew. The hat is sick. Thanks, man. It's a great hat. I love hats, and we wouldn't have done it unless we could have gotten quality. And I'll tell you, those people that were clowning my sweatshirt, the sweatshirt is fire. As soon as it got to the house, people stole it. I didn't even get to put it on. I got it in white. That sweatshirt is dope. Everybody I know that bought that sweatshirt, their kids or wife took it immediately. They didn't even get to wear it. That sweatshirt is fire. It's got the number 8 on the back, 8 more Bitcoin. It's just fire. So anyway, I like it. Tony Spencer, damn, agree. My bank is getting rid of token generators. Kate Wilson, thanks for this. Do you have an opinion on Cardano? I don't, Kate. Look, I'm a Bitcoin guy, and then I do some research on certain tokens, just research, but I'm telling you, 99.9% of everything I do is Bitcoin or equity positions in infrastructure companies. Bitcoin and the boys. You can have a dedicated phone just for 2FA, not activated using your Wi-Fi. I've done that before. I've disabled phones before, and I've only had them set up for Wi-Fi. Actually, pulled the SIM card from them, but sometimes the two-factor authenticator fails on it for some reason. So be careful with that solution. I did it for years. I probably. Guys, I'm not joking with you. I mean, I have stacks. I have stacks of telephones, stacks of iPhones that I've torn apart, re-engineered, reconfigured. I carry multiple phones in case I get SIM swapped. I've got SIM cards. I mean, you wouldn't believe the nonsense that I had to go through just to protect myself. Foreign travel, SIM swapped. I'm in another country. Lost my email. It's freaking crazy time. All right, let's get back to some news. I love the questions in the live chat, though. Keep them coming. Looks like Facebook's going to limit political ads the week before the election. It's just so stupid. Samsung's future includes a $2 billion super plant. This is pretty cool. I like Samsung. Samsung Biologics spots unprecedented opportunity from COVID-19 and ongoing biopharmaceutical demand. This is in Songdo, South Korea. Samsung's drug manufacturing arm. I didn't even know Samsung made drugs. How cool is that? I thought they just made phones. It's like Kodak, right? So Samsung's drug manufacturing arm is betting that the already booming market for biologic drug ingredients will only get hotter, thanks to industry shifts sparked by the coronavirus pandemic. Key to that bet is a nearly $2 billion drug-making plant that, when completed in 2022, will be the largest of its kind in the world. Dubbed the super plant, Samsung Biologics' fourth factory will have around 230,000 square meters of floor space, making it bigger than the company's 3 existing plants combined, slightly larger than the Louvre. For those of you who are uncultured, I think the Louvre is a museum in France, as the Mona Lisa. How about that? You might not think a guy like me with a big old, this mullet, this beautiful mullet, would know about the Louvre, but I do. I've been there. I was there. I checked it out. I loved it. I hired a PhD art major to walk me around the Louvre and just show me the stuff that was interesting to her. So it's a massive thing to take in. But I really enjoyed that. So you kind of get to focus in on certain things that are interesting to you, and then this person knows everything about it and gives you kind of gives you the skinny. So pretty cool stuff. Hey, I'd buy Samsung. Again, I haven't, but again, this show is about making money, getting money. If you're in the stock game, that's some good news. Remember, we got Walmart. We got big news for Walmart. Walmart trying to buy TikTok. Walmart trying to take on Amazon Prime. So keep that on the radar, right? And now look at this. What I just dropped hot fire on you. Samsung, they're making drugs. The president of the United States wants a solution for COVID by November. And if someone can take a COVID vaccine through clinical trials and deliver that, there's going to be buyers. Believe me, they're going to be buyers. I mean, we as a marketing stunt for my new company are going to launch free flu vaccine. We did it. It's something I've done historically, but I'm going to give away free flu vaccine in the future. And I can almost imagine doing the same for COVID vaccine, but I don't, I just want to make sure it's safe. But check out Samsung. That's pretty cool stuff. There was an article on Fiat Chrysler. I don't know much about American cars. Big gains in black-owned firms from Juneteenth. Bets prove fleeting. That looks interesting. Let's see what this is about. Investors piled into shares of some black-owned businesses in June, and widespread racial justice protests, a newfound interest in the Juneteenth holiday, marking the emancipation of the last slaves in the U.S. The gains in some cases prove fleeting, showing the difficulty of using the stock market to express social views. I thought there was some funds that were specifically focused on minorities, black-owned businesses, and things of that sort. I don't know if I like that. I would say, again, I'm pretty liberal in terms of my social views, but pretty conservative from a business perspective. And this is probably some old school nonsense, but this is just me. I want to invest in the best companies that I can. And Pomp and I, when I looked at our full tilt capital, we invested in 63 companies in 20 months. Put $18 million of my money and his money and a bunch of friends and family's money into those companies. And I think 20 or 30% of all the companies we invested in were women-led, minority-led companies. And that wasn't through design or anything. It just happened. So I thought that was pretty cool. Just picking good companies. It looked like someone took a shot at Morgan Creek Capital Management, by the way. I saw it in my feed this morning. I didn't respond to it. That they were like, everyone at Morgan Creek Capital Management are white dudes. It was kind of like the dumbest statement. It was a Chinese guy who made it. And I mean, Morgan Creek Capital Management is not my business. It's a different business, but I'm associated with it. But we have pretty amazing diversity there. So I thought that was it was a pretty superficial take. I don't know if someone was just trying to take a swing at me, but if you want to swing at me, you know where I am. Come get some. Don't make stupid statements about a lack of diversity when you have a very diverse team, like a super diverse team. It's just dumb. It's really dumb. It's a waste of time. Anyway, man, I appreciate it. Click the like, subscribe. We got almost 100 people watching today. Keep it coming. Maybe we'll do lunchtime going parabolic. I love it. Let's see. Bitcoin and the boys. That's wild. Spencer, very helpful. Good. Cactus Spits. Same SIM swap thing happened to me. Everything minus the kidnapping threats. I'm so sorry about that. It's not a fun thing. It's, beyond the financial losses, it's terrifying to have all of your personal information, all of your accounts, all your DMs, essentially, just copied. And, beyond that, I have a bunch of patents that I was working on. I have a bunch of intellectual property in my Dropbox. Everything was exploited, and they have everything: Social Security, credit card information. I mean, it's crazy. It's big time. All right, Mitch, do you think YouTube is a viable career option? Yeah, I think if you're serious about YouTube and you want to be an influencer, this is simply a test for me. I'm not in any way trying to monetize what I'm doing here, but it with 4,000 subscribers and my track record, it would be very easy for me to get sponsors and generate $100,000 a year just in sponsors without monetizing these videos, because I'm screwing that up big time. Almost every one of my videos gets a copyright infringement because of music or something like that, which is why Joe Rogan and people migrate away from YouTube and why they use Periscope, just more liberal. But they have very, very strict content, the things I'm saying, and then any music that's playing. But man, being an influencer, and I don't even like saying that, I'm not an influencer, but using YouTube if this was my full-time job, I could absolutely generate six-figure income without a doubt. So go get it. I mean, seriously, it's just like talking to friends. I'm just sitting here, having a conversation. It's pretty amazing. Ledoux COQ, high frequency trading bots. Go to crypto. Oh, come on, bro. What is that? I don't even know what you're talking about. Declan Byrne, not going to take a swing now that you're back in the gym. I'm not a tough guy, man. I'm a lover. I'm not trying to fight anybody, to tell you the truth. I'm just joking about that. But you always got to be ready, right? If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Eric Franchi, can one successful run a fund and be an operator at the same time? Can someone run a successful fund and also operate a business at the same time? Yes, of course. What I tell our LPs and what I tell anyone who challenges me and saying, hey, you're spread too thin, or you got too many things going on, or you got too many balls in the air, is this. I thrive in a cognitively diverse environment. And when I have lots of subject matter experts around me who are feeding me information and driving me to explore things I don't understand, it's my natural happy place. I love to learn. Like, I'm a lifetime student. I studied medicine. I was licensed to practice. I practice emergency medicine. I wanted to be an orthopedic surgeon. I didn't end up doing that. I sold my company. I started a waste management business, and then I started making power off of trash. Now I'm back into healthcare, invested in all kinds of different verticals, from jacket pets to at-home lab tests to imperfect produce to just all kinds of arenas, and that cognitive diversity and all those different themes or thematic investment opportunities make life interesting, make my life rich. I think keep me as sharp as I can be. I'm not saying I'm the smartest guy in the world. I certainly am not. I'm probably not even the smartest person on this discussion today. But it allows me to continue to expand my own knowledge, and I enjoy that very much. And I think it's important for people to think and be challenged and to be around challenging people. And so, yes, you can operate a business, and you can invest money, and you can manage other people's money. And as long as you stay in the ethical kind of on the right side of ethics, everything's cool, right? All right. Gosh, I cannot believe we're already going 30 minutes. Let's see. Gene editing in embryos isn't safe or effective for clinical use. I think this is actually interesting, if you don't mind entertaining me for a second. So this is like a CRISPR thing. Gene editing technologies aren't ready for use in human embryos for creating a pregnancy because scientists don't yet understand how to make precise fixes without also introducing unwanted, potentially dangerous changes, according to a report issued Thursday by an international commission. And even after the technology advances to become less risky, societal debate is still needed on the ethical questions involving in making changes to human eggs, sperm, or embryos, also known as germline editing, because any modification can be inherited by future generations, the report found. I mean, think about this for a second. If given an opportunity to edit the genes of a child that you are intending to have, would you do it? Would you pick brown hair and blue eyes, make them tall, make them a mesomorph or an ectomorph? Imagine if you had those type of decisions, whether you have a boy or a girl. I mean, are these things that humans should be able to decide? Or are these things that we should just leave to chance? Imagine if you can shut off the potential for cancer or kidney disease or diabetes or shut off heart disease or high cholesterol. You could fix any type of neurologic disorder or any issues with the mind that may have been genetically predispositioned. What do you think about that? Uh, let's see. I'm going to give you guys a chance to digest that because I'm really interested in your thoughts. Spencer Mitchell first to kind of to chime in. So I think it's more for healing genetic disease. Yeah, certainly, but there's always going to be a perversion of that, right? Uh, it's like abortion. Um, abortions aren't available for the poor unless they're subsidized. But if a rich person wants an abortion, they get it, right? It's kind of it's kind of sad, regardless of how you feel about abortion. It's really just about if you have the resources or you don't have the resources. So what I'm saying is, for those wealthy people that want to edit the genes of a potential child, they're going to do it. So my point is, should they be able to? Um, Spencer Mitchell, instead of like choosing your hair, I don't agree with you. I think when I see on TikTok someone getting lip injections that has lips that look just fine to me, that's why people get lip injections, right? They just don't like their lips. Let's see. Peter Chow, I'm more of a naturalist. There's not denying that these technologies will be taken advantage of. Yep. And think about military application. I mean, a lot of this stuff is driven by DARPA and military science, but if you could develop a Terminator, if you could develop, someone who has an unlimited capacity to run at speeds that top out human speed. So imagine if you could make a human being run 23 miles an hour without fatigue, without enhancements, any type of cyborg type enhancements. You're simply just maximizing the human potential. You're taking away the slow twitch muscle fiber fatigue. You're expanding fast twitch muscle fibers so that the maximum, like you take the human potential to its maximum and you turn everything to level 10. I'm sure the military would love to develop something like that. Sammy D, I don't think it's ethical, but it's probably already being tested and implemented. Sure, I tend to probably agree. Ledoux COQ, people die, it's easy for them to kill babies. Oof. Oof. Patrick, I can run 23 miles an hour without fatigue. I love it. You're the man. Self-driving Bitcoin. Run, Patrick. Exactly. I'd like to see that. There's I saw a video. Gosh, who was it? Oh man, I wish I knew. He was on a treadmill. He was some football player. He was like just hauling. But it was for a very short time. He reached like a peak of like 20, 21, 22 miles an hour. And then, obviously can't maintain that. InvestX, I love your channel and the subjects you talk about. Thank you so much. It was not Chad Johnson. It was definitely not. You're talking about Ocho Cinco. It wasn't Ocho Cinco. Well, maybe it was. Sean, it was Chad Johnson? He ran on a treadmill 23, 21, 22 miles an hour? Maybe it was. Sure was. All right, there it is. So I thought it was a running back that was doing that, like a retired running back that was trying to come back. But Chad and Tariq Hill did too. Now Tariq Hill is a savage. I was pretty quick in my day. I was a wide receiver at Methodist. And I think I ran like a 4.6 40. So like I'm saying that's quick, but that's not even in the realm of these guys. These guys are running sub 4.2 40s, right? And plus they're lightning quick off the line and then have this kind of finishing speed. But anyway, Chad with a cigar doing 23 miles per hour. I love it. Couple did it actually. Well, I swear I thought it was like I swear I thought it was a running back who was in retirement that was showing up to make a comeback and showing this blazing speed. But yeah, man, it's pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. I like Chad Johnson. He's not playing anymore, right? I mean, I thought he kind of blew his career up, being just a total jerk. Ended up in like where was he, with Cleveland Browns or something? I can't remember. Cincinnati? Nah, I don't know. But this gene editing thing, pretty cool stuff. We'll keep tracking it. And by the way, while we were talking, I looked up. There were Chinese scientists who actually edited babies' genes. So let's read about that before we shut down. It was Dr. He Jianquao, Jianqiu, Jianqua, Jianqua, Jinqui, seeking glory for his nation and justice for HIV-positive parents, kept his experiment secret, ignored peers' warnings, and faked the test. Here we go. 2 sisters entered the world prematurely one October night last year by emergency cesarean section. Staff at the Chinese hospital swaddled them in white, laying them in an incubator. The twins had a secret almost no one at the hospital knew. One man who did know was there, waiting, a U.S.-educated researcher, Dr. He Jianhua, who had flown into town to see them. The twins were his creations, the world's first known gene-edited human babies. Wow. He had worked toward this for 2 years, altering their genes as embryos to try making them resistant to their father's HIV infection. Wow, this is heavy. Dr. He, pronounced Huh, thank you for that. They gave it to me a little too late. I could have saved a lot of embarrassment. It's Dr. Huh, not He. Gave them pseudonyms, Lulu and Nana. I'm 70% happy and 30% uncertain, he said in English voice message to colleagues that night. His unease proved prescient. When the news broke, peers in China and abroad condemned him for manipulating life's building blocks using a relatively untested gene editing tool. Gene editing tools involving terminally ill adult humans are ongoing, but tinkering with embryos is more controversial because changes in them will pass to future generations, meaning a tiny blip could have far-reaching consequences. At a November 28 Hong Kong summit of leading geneticists, participants bombarded Dr. Huh, with questions about his methods and ethics. A day later, Chinese officials declared his experiment illegal. Authorities in January detained him after an initial probe alleged he forged an approval document and acted in pursuit of personal fame. He hasn't been publicly heard from since November. Attempts to reach Dr. Huh, who appears to remain in custody, weren't successful. His wife declined to comment through a person close to him. It isn't even clear if Dr. Huh has legal representation. Dr. Huh, now 35, left behind the mystery of what motivated him to defy his field's wildly held ethical principles. Now he carried out his trial in stealth, why nobody stopped him, and why he was so stunned by the backlash. I don't know what happened to the kids. Maybe we'll do some research on that, and I can follow up with you guys about it. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, I certainly am. Look, this morning, hold on. Abdex Abdul, don't bite your tongue, Jason. Jin Kwa, Ha. I'm going to get it. Listen, love you guys. In the link, you can get the hat. You can get to buy the dip. Get the shirt in green. I'm telling you, I bought I have a different shirt because I wanted to check the material out. I don't like sending people or making people buy crappy stuff. It's a really high quality shirt. I love it. I got it in army green. Buy the MF dip. It's the hottest thing. And I'm saying buy the dip. I bought about $40,000 worth of Bitcoin in the Dunkin' Donuts parking lot when I saw this thing wrecking. Let's go. Wrap it up. Have a great weekend. I'll see you guys. Bang.